Hello and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because, well, we're tackling something that literally every single one of us has experienced at one point or another. I'm talking about that heavy, totally universal feeling of just complete mental fatigue. You know exactly the feeling I mean, right? You sit down to conquer this massive project, you're super motivated, you've got your coffee, your notes are perfectly organized, but after a while, you find yourself reading the exact same sentence 4 times in a row without absorbing a single word. Today, we are exploring a fascinating, highly structured solution to this universal problem. It's a concept that completely rethinks how we structure our time, our energy, and our capacity to learn. We're going to explore exactly how to sustain cognitive focus and permanently prevent burnout.
I want to direct this question right at you. Why does studying, or really any intense period of deep work, so frequently end in a state of total burnout? We've all been conditioned to believe that sheer willpower is enough, that if we just chain ourselves to the desk, put our heads down, and grind it out for hours on end, we will eventually just break through to the other side of productivity. And usually, we try to fuel this impossible mission with a frankly absurd amount of caffeine that just leaves us jittery instead of actually focused. But the reality is, long tasks almost always result in losing concentration. We inevitably hit a mental wall. The quality of our work plummets, our frustration spikes, and we end up feeling completely drained. It's a deeply frustrating cycle, and it absolutely agitates the core of anyone trying to learn efficiently. So what is actually going wrong here?
Okay, let's dive into this. The core issue is our ongoing struggle to sustain cognitive focus. And the reality we have to face is that traditional, continuous studying actually destroys our ability to maintain that focus. Our brains are simply not designed to act like continuous running machines. Instead, human biology operates on what are known as ultradian rhythms. These are natural biological cycles our bodies go through during the day, constantly alternating between peaks of high energy and troughs of fatigue. When we try to force sustained cognitive focus over massive, unbroken blocks of time, we are literally working against our own neurological hardware. The struggle isn't about your intelligence, and actually, scratch that, it isn't about your willpower either. The struggle is purely about how you are managing your brain's natural cognitive load over time. 52. Now, the antidote to burnout starts with this exact, mathematically precise period of work. This isn't just some random number pulled out of thin air. It actually originates from a massive data study conducted by the productivity tracking app DeskTime. They analyzed the habits of their absolute most productive users. We're talking the top 10% of workers who accomplish the most without burning out. And they found a fascinating trend. These top performers didn't work longer hours, they just worked smarter. Specifically, their intense work sessions averaged exactly 52 minutes. It means going into your work session with a laser-focused, predetermined finish line. You aren't just sitting down to study until you get tired. You are sitting down to execute a highly structured 52-minute sprint that perfectly leverages your brain's natural energy peak. 17. Take a breath and let the pacing of that slow down for a second. 17. It kind of creates a real sense of relief just thinking about it, doesn't it? But it also begs the question, why 17? Well, in that exact same productivity study, the data showed that after about 52 minutes of intense exertion, cognitive fatigue rapidly sets in. 17 minutes turns out to be the optimal biological recovery window. It's long enough for your brain to genuinely disengage, process information, and replenish its depleted cognitive reserves, but it's short enough that you don't enter a state of deep sluggishness or complete boredom. If 52 is the intense sprint, 17 is the vital, mandatory period of complete decompression. So the crucial point is this, the 52-17 rule. Studying for 52 minutes, followed by a 17-minute break to prevent burnout. It sounds so incredibly simple, yet it is entirely counterintuitive to the whole hustle culture way of thinking. This rule dictates that your study session and your break are not arbitrary. They are structurally locked in. It's a highly effective solution because it completely removes the guesswork from your workflow. You don't have to wonder when you should take a break, and you don't have to feel guilty when you finally do. It is a mandated, scientifically grounded part of the process. And this brilliantly illustrates what we're really looking at, a total cycle of 69 minutes. Roughly 75% of that time is dedicated to deep work. But notice how substantial that 25% rest period is. It's not a quick, 2-minute breather where you just check your social media feeds and immediately jump back in. No, it is a non-negotiable, mathematically significant proportion of your overall cycle. The length and the quality of this break are just as critically important as the length of the study period itself. During this first phase, you are locked in. 52 minutes of sustained cognitive focus. This is where your maximum output happens. To make this work, you have to actively engineer your environment.
Put your phone in another room, throw on those noise-canceling headphones, and close out of literally every unrelated browser tab. No distractions, no casually checking emails, no staring out the window. Because you know a break is coming in exactly 52 minutes, you have the psychological freedom to give absolutely everything you have to the task right in front of you. You are sustaining that intense cognitive focus because the finish line is clearly defined and rapidly approaching. You sprint hard because you know exactly when the sprint ends.
And then you stop. You just step away. The 17-minute window is your burnout shield. During these 17 minutes, your brain gets to fully relax, process everything, and recover. But there's a catch here. You have to rest properly. Staying at your desk and scrolling the internet does not count. To truly shield your cognitive reserve from total depletion, you need to step away from your screens entirely. Go for a quick walk outside, stretch, get a glass of water, or literally just stare at a wall. This mandated high-quality rest is what allows you to return to the next 52-minute block feeling genuinely refreshed rather than completely depleted. It's an active, necessary defense mechanism against mental fatigue.
Let's contrast these two approaches for a second. On one side, we have endless studying, that traditional grind mentality. This is where you sit for 4 hours straight. Endless studying relies on a depleting tank of willpower, slowly bleeding away your focus minute by minute, until you are functionally achieving nothing but pure exhaustion. On the other side, we have the highly structured 52-17 rule, which relies on a scientifically paced rhythm of exertion and recovery. One leads to hitting an absolutely inevitable wall, and the other allows you to maintain a steady, high-quality output throughout your entire day. Let's move to and see how this builds into a daily habit, because it is incredibly actionable. Step 1. Set a timer for 52 minutes and commit completely to the task at hand. Step 2. When the alarm goes off, step entirely away from your work environment for exactly 17 minutes. Just let your brain disconnect. Step 3. By rigidly following steps 1 and 2, you arrive at the ultimate goal. You prevent burnout. You completely transform what used to be a grueling, unpredictable chore into a rhythmic, manageable, and highly efficient learning engine.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to really chew on. Look at your own habits. When you hit that wall of exhaustion, when your cognitive focus completely shatters, ask yourself, are you truly working too long, or are you just resting too little? Is it possible that your lack of a strict, mandated 17-minute rest period is the true hidden cause of your burnout? Try implementing the 52-17 rule today. Respect the timer and see how much your focus can truly sustain. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I will see you in the next explainer.